Hey guys, what's going on? Adam from Exotics. Welcome back to the channel. Remember, if you are new, please do me a favour. Can you smash that subscribe button? We're almost at the 2,000 subscriber giveaway mark. Can you also leave a comment on this video, drop a like, and make sure you ting that notification bell so you don't get to miss a future upload. So guys, in this video, as you can see from the title and the thumbnail, this is ball pythons for beginners. Why am I doing this video? Quite simply, going back to the 2,000 subscriber giveaway video, I noticed in the comment section that a lot of people were saying that this is going to be their very first ball python, and in some cases their very first snake. So I thought, what perfect content to bring to you, my experiences, my views, my own opinions, guys, of what people should do when they're first starting out in the hobby. Even if it's not just the hobby, if it's just one ball python as a pet, I think this video can help you, along with the thousands of other videos on this subject that are out there on YouTube. So many people have done these sort of videos, and it's actually the first time I've actually done this video. So guys, I do hope you enjoy it. Remember, everything that you are going to hear is based on my own experiences that I've had, or research that I've done throughout the many years that I've been keeping and breeding these fantastic species of animal. So guys, kick back, relax, and enjoy the video. So guys, the very first thing that you want to do before acquiring your new ball python is do your research. I mean, YouTube has thousands of videos, like I've just said, about keeping ball pythons, breeding ball pythons, sexing ball pythons setups, you name it, it's on there. So there's not going to be anything you want to know that you cannot find on YouTube. But you want to learn everything you can about these magnificent creatures. You want to read as many books as you can. The Complete Ball Python by Kevin McCurley is a fantastic book. I highly recommend that you get a copy of that and have a really good read through. Marcus Jane also has a fantastic website with some information on these creatures, particularly on how to breed them, where he illustrates the whole process really well, so do check that out as well. But do your research, guys. You want to know what sort of enclosure these guys are going to need, that will do them for their whole lives, not just when they're babies but when they're adults. This is actually an adult male. He will get obviously bigger, but he's probably about 1,100 grams at the moment. This is a banana fire bee, absolutely stunning. And in your research, you will find out that there are hundreds of different colour mutations, different pattern mutations that you can get within this species. So you're going to want to know the life expectancy of these animals, you're going to want to know what they eat, you're going to know how often they shed, you're going to know how to breed them, you're going to want to know a whole host of things, especially about things like medical issues that you might come across. These snakes are very susceptible to respiratory infections, which is basically a common cold, but in reptiles. Basically, they don't have the ability to cough, so they can't cough up the phlegm that builds up, and it sits in a pool around their lungs, and that's what causes the respiratory infection. And if not treated, guys, that can be a killer. But as you can see, this one's nice, happy and healthy. He's one of my star male breeders over here at TA Exotics. Absolutely love this boy. It was a present from my wife a couple of years ago, and he will never be going anywhere because he just has that sentimental part attached to him, as he was a present from my wife. So guys, another thing you're going to need to know, and yes, the snake has changed. This is now a pastel calico. Again, he is an adult male. Another one of the star breeders here at TA Exotics, who's gripping on a bit too tight there. There you go. So what you're going to need when you're picking up your first ball python, so you're going to do your research. You're going to know that a ball python is the animal that you want to acquire, is the animal that you want to buy. Obviously, there's thousands and thousands of different types of animals that you can get, hundreds of different species of snake that you can get, especially here in the UK as pets. Ball pythons tend to be probably the most popular, and rightly so. They're absolutely fantastic animals, as you can see. Don't grow much bigger than I think the records, I don't know, probably 5,000–6,000 grams, which is an exceptionally large animal. That is your sort of average size for a male. He's about 1,500 grams. Females typically will range, 2,000 to 4,000 grams. That's a typical size. Maybe 4 to 5 feet in some cases also. So guys, so you've decided that you want a ball python. You decided that that's what snake you want to bring home. Where are you going to put it in? You know, what setup are you going to use? Now, I use a racking system, as you can see behind me. Many people use racking systems, but sometimes people just want a snake to keep as a pet, and if that's the case, you're not going to use a racking system. You're going to use a vivarium, which is absolutely fantastic. These guys do exceptionally well in vivariums, but in my opinion, only when they're bigger. Babies don't do too good in vivariums over tubs. Just my opinion. I've had some bad experiences with babies in large enclosures when they're not feeding, so just bear that in mind, guys. He is quite strong for his size. Absolutely stunning little boy. So decide on what enclosure that you want to buy. If you want a vivarium, make sure it's appropriately sized to the animal you're actually getting. You know, ideally you don't want to stick a 200-gram baby into a 4-foot vivarium. It's just going to be too big, and I think it will lead to just problem after problem. Yes, some will thrive in a bigger enclosure, but in my experience the majority won't. So keep that in mind, guys. All my animals are kept in rack systems, like I just said, appropriately sized. So the babies are in V18 tubs, and the adults range from 33 litre tubs to the V70 adult tubs from Freedom Breeder. So now that you've decided that a ball python is a pet for you, you're going to want to pick a reputable breeder. Now, you don't just want to go online, you know, to a site like Pre-Loved or Craigslist and just pick the cheapest one you can find. Most people that when they're starting, they don't necessarily, you know, spend a fortune on the actual snake, because the enclosures can cost you back, set you back quite a bit, especially if it's just a pet. This one here is a Hypo Butter Enchi Pinstripe. This is a male. He will be a massive part of the breeding team here next year. As you can see, he's just a baby. He is kept in a V18 hatchling tub, and he'll stay there maybe for another 3 to 4 months when he puts on another 200 grams or so, and then I'll move him into a 33 litre or a 33 litre with a divider. So you want to research your breeders, guys. Now, the best thing that I can say to you is get yourself on YouTube, get yourself on Instagram, and look for local breeders in your area. And the reason I say that is because video doesn't lie, camera footage doesn't lie. You know, you can select a breeder if they've got a social media, you know, YouTube, Instagram. You can see exactly what they're doing. You can see their setups, you can see their room, you can see how well their snakes are cared for. In my case, I will always film you know, egg cuttings, egg layings and things like that. So if you was to purchase a baby from me, you could pretty much track it from when it was bred by the parents to when it hatched, and I think that's a really cool thing to be able to do, either through video or through stills, through photos. Being able to see that much about a breeder, I think, is vitally important. I think I'd rather go for a breeder like that over someone less known, that doesn't have any social media where they can provide photos of the parents or the eggs or anything like that. So it's always a good idea to go for someone that's got the ability to show you everything that you want to know. So guys, once you've picked your breeder, it's time to pick a snake. Now that snake depends entirely on your budget. Some snakes cost a hell of a lot of money, and some snakes, you know, you can pick up reasonably cheap, and most of them, you know, for the most part, are quite affordable. This boy here is a Coral Glow Black Pastel Vanilla. You think that'd be quite expensive. It's not. I think I paid, what did I pay for him? I think I paid around £300 for him, which I think is a great deal, because Black Pastel with Coral Glow and the Vanilla as well just has the potential to create some awesome animals. Now this guy has just started breeding for me this year. Absolutely fantastic. He's actually sired the clutch that's in the incubator, clutch number 1, bred to the cinnamon. Looking for some 8-ball. 8-ball combos would be absolutely fantastic. But you know, you want to pick your snake based on your budget. If you want a prettier snake, if you want a snake with more genes, save up your money. You know, maybe don't settle for anything less if that's what you want to do. Know what you want. If it's just a pet, you know, you want the prettiest snake you can get. You know, do your research, do your homework. Morph Market is a fantastic tool also to be able to find so many different variations of the same animal and to compare prices as well. If you're looking to get into breeding, and it's your first snake, you know, for your breeding projects, then obviously the price will reflect in that also for yourself. And what I mean by that is that, you know, you'll see a snake, it might not look pretty, you could be working with hets or double hets, but you can see the breeding potential down the road, and the price will obviously reflect that also. So make sure that you pick the right snake for you, for whatever reason you might be getting one, whether it be for a pet, whether it be for breeding. Once you've got your snake home, whatever size it may be, the best thing to probably do is just let it settle in for a week or so. Don't feed it, don't handle it, just let it settle in. Let it get used to its new surroundings, let it get used to the new smells, the new sights, the new temperatures, maybe the new ambient temperature of the room. Chances are it's going to be a lot different to what it's used to, so give it time to adjust, and then offer it food maybe a week to 10 days after you acquire it without handling, and then maybe wait 3 or 4 days after feeding before you actually start your handling. If it's a baby, you're going to want to handle it maybe 2 or 3 times a day for no more than 5 minutes. If it's an adult, it's most probably had a lot of handling throughout its lifetime, and it could probably tolerate a lot more. Now, I don't think these snakes enjoy being held, but I do think, you know, once you change maybe the location where you're handling them, maybe if you put them on the floor for a bit, let them climb a little bit, I think that really does help with the enrichment side of it. Do snakes get bored in tubs? Do snakes get bored in vivariums? Who knows? But at least holding it, you know, for example, you know, I'm letting it hold, I'm holding it like this, I'm letting it crawl onto the table. I might let it crawl on top of my head, just to get different textures, different sights, different sounds, just like that. That's all cool. I wouldn't do it with a baby. Just sort of keep handling to a minimum, just get them used to you, let them know that you're not going to hurt it, because as you can imagine, guys, a baby ball python in the wild is food to everything, and they're programmed to know that, whether they're born in captivity or not. So just let them know that you're not going to harm them, let them know that they're completely safe with you, and you'll end up with an animal just like this, as tame as anything. You can touch its head, touch its belly, you know, rub its chin, and it knows it's in no danger. Absolutely stunning. This, of course, is my male leopard firefly. Again, a superstar breeder for me. Created some awesome combos last season. Really love this guy. Absolutely fantastic. And another one that won't be going anywhere. So guys, there is also the possibility of health issues once you get your new baby snake home. It's not all hunky-dory. I wish they all lived the whole lifetime without any sort of issue. Probably the 2 main issues that you will encounter are, number 1, mites. Mites seem to be everywhere. They're very easy to get rid of, so don't stress too much if you get mites. If it's only one snake, whether it's in a vivarium or whether it's in a racking system, it's very easy to eliminate them. There's lots of videos, I won't go too much into detail on this one, but there's lots of videos on how to get rid of mites and how to treat for mites. Very simple home remedies also, so make sure you do in your research part of it, make sure you've checked out those sorts of videos as well. Number 2 is most probably respiratory infections. Now this is, you know, it's not a major thing really. If you catch it early, it's just like a cold, but snakes unfortunately don't have the cough reflex, so they can't cough up the phlegm. Basically what that does, it just pulls, you know, around their lungs, and it can make them really, really sick. So the best thing to do, again, there's lots of videos on there. Home remedies do work. It's worked for me in the past, as long as it's very early in the process of it. If you've gone past that point, then the only thing you can do is take the animal to a vet for a course of antibiotics, which is normally done by syringe by yourself at home. The vet will show you how to do that again, but there's lots of videos showing you how to do that also. And guys, remember, after you got your new ball python home, especially in my case, the aftercare doesn't stop. Just because you've given me your money, I've given you a snake. We don't go our separate ways unless you so choose to. I'll always be at the end of a phone, end of a DM, or the end of an email, there to answer any questions you might have about that snake, any feeding problems, any health conditions, even if you want tips on breeding plans and what, you know, what I think best for that animal to put into a project and things like that. No matter what it is, good or bad, I'll always be here, guys, to help you if you ever choose a snake from me. And the lucky winner of the 2,000 subscriber giveaway, if it is your first snake, I'm always here for life, well, for as long as I'm alive anyway, to give you advice on that animal. So guys, let's take a quick look at a few of the enclosures that I use here at TEA Exotics. Again, it will vary for you whether you choose a vivarium or whether you choose a rack system or a rub system. I don't have any vivs here to show you, unfortunately, but what I do have is a variety of racks and different tubs, so we'll show you some of them now. Guys, these are the V18 tubs that I use. These would be for anything from, well, once they hatch from the incubator, all the babies go into one of these tubs. Just like so, but obviously with a lot more in it. She actually goes into that tub. She was just in there for some photo purposes earlier, but yeah, they'll all go into that tub until they all shed out, and then once they all shed out, they'll all go into one of these individually, and they're good in there. Probably to 300 to 400 grams is when I'd start taking them out. Probably the biggest girl in there so far is this girl here. As you can see, she's got ample space, so she's probably good in there for another 100, 150 grams. But yeah, I mean, you can get 9 litre rubs. You can get a 9 litre rub is this one here. This actually houses my frog, so completely off topic. We have a Pac-Man frog. He's really cool. But that is a 9 litre rub. Is it a 9? Oh, actually, I'm lying. I think that's a 5 litre rub. Sorry, it's a 5 litre. But even so, that is a perfect size for a hatching ball python. Obviously, with your heating on there as well, your heat mat and your thermostat hooked up. But that is also at a good size. When they get too big for either a 9 litre rub like that or the V18, then they go up into to a 33 litre rub, but only with a divider. So as you can see, a divider, and I'll quickly show you, you put a tub in there like that. It's pretty much the same surface area here, but you do get that extra maybe 6 inches there, and it's probably 2 inches, maybe 1.5 inches higher as well. So it is an upgrade for them, and obviously once they finish outgrowing that side, then this comes out and they get the entire 33 litre rub. Now for animals that are exceptionally big, that get really big, maybe 3,000 plus grams, then they will go into a V70. This girl is over 3,000 grams. I think putting her into a 33 litre might be a little bit of a squeeze, but definitely in a V70 tub like this, some of her Repsa chip, they do very well. And all I do, just a bit of water everywhere, and then give it a little bit of a mix on the hot spot. Perfect. But yeah, that's a V70, and I think they do really well. The big girls, even the big boys, if some do get that size, do really well in a V70 tub. So guys, I really hope some of that sort of advice that I've just given is of some help to you. If it's not and you want further clarification on anything, please don't hesitate to let me know. Drop me a comment down below. Email me at teaexotics@gmail.com. That would be in the description down below. DM me on Instagram. I'll always be happy to elaborate further on anything that I put out on video. This is not an exact how-to video. It's not too much in depth. It's just a brief discussion, letting you know what I think you should look out for, and things that I think you should be aware of. That being said, guys, I'm going to end it there. So I want to thank you all for watching this video. You guys are absolutely fantastic. I hope you're all following the government guidelines on the social distancing. This disease is becoming quite a bit of an arse, really. And I think none of us took it as seriously as we should have done from the beginning. Probably thanks to our governments who sort of played it down a lot in the beginning, and now it's sort of catching up with us. So please, please, please be careful out there. Only go out when absolutely necessary. Make sure you continue to wash your hands. Such a simple thing, but that can really, really help. More than you'll ever know. So wash your hands thoroughly whenever you need to. Only go out if absolutely necessary. Please, please, please stay safe. Let's not, let's try and reduce the amount of people that this horrible disease is claiming. Loved ones, friends. It shouldn't be like this, guys, and it's so easily helped by you and me doing what we're told, basically. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Please subscribe to the channel, like I've already said. Ting the notification bell so you don't get to miss the next video. Stay safe, and I'll see you soon.